Alan Judd, Chair of 21st Century Digital Teaching, and Martin Herszowski, Chief Operating Officer at 21st Century Digital Teaching as well. Pleasure to have you both with us on Euronews. Now, first of all, you're both behind a new AI company aiming to transform the education system. So firstly, can you just tell us about how it started and how it exactly works?
Well, it started in 2021. And it started with, I was approached by a headmaster and a very forward-looking man, Sir Greg Martin, who asked me how could I build a technology platform that is going to cure the fundamental shortage of maths teachers. That's how it started. And then it moved on to the next generation of personalised learning. And then Martin joined me, and he has single-handed changed the way digital teaching has really arisen out in the UK, I think.
And Martin, how exactly have you developed the technology behind this then? Can you just explain exactly what it does?
Well, I think it is, first of all, is designed by teachers for teachers, but the technology behind this is obviously we're utilizing artificial intelligence to make sure that the platform can mimic one-to-one tutoring. That's our aim, just to help teachers get the better insights about their pupils' performance, and then as well make sure that each pupil can get the best possible resources to superb their skills.
And how does the AI work? What is the AI element? Like, how does it
I know
work?
it's a very vague term that everyone seems to be really abusing these days without really truly understanding it. But I think where AI comes to play in 21st century is we're utilizing AI to create the content. So that's the initial element where we use AI, and we actually had to build our own chat or our own translator to be able to translate the lessons that we're getting from our teachers and convert them into short and snappy format that is now easily digestible by teenagers. So that's the first part where we utilize AI. Then another part where we utilize AI is to be able to track performance of every individual student and provide them with the correct and appropriate guidelines on what to do next.
Okay, so teachers sort of on video, on camera, as well as then the data analytics is the...
Yes, although we don't really use teachers. We use teachers because we digitize them, we translate them into avatars, and then they're being available on the screen as digital teachers.
Okay, so you've developed avatars to teach the lessons, and that's the...
Yes, that's correct.
And that's there too because there's a shortage of teachers. Real teachers, there's a shortage because the school population is expanding very fast, and the experienced maths teachers is declining because people are retiring, they're ill, they're moving, they're going to different places. So to have one-to-one teaching, that is really behind 21st century.
And as well, what's important is obviously that attention span of teenagers is really shortening. So we wanted to have our lessons to be as short as possible. So instead of 20, 40 minutes long, we have concentrated them into 4 to 5 minutes format, just to make sure that this is something that resonates with teenagers. And that was quite a challenge to really compress those lessons into a short format that teenagers can understand and they will not get bored.
And how long has it taken you? I'm just very interested with these AI companies, and obviously AI is now very present, in industry. Everyone is, coming up with AI solutions, but this has not come out of nowhere. How long did it take to build these avatars and develop this technology?
Initially, when we started, or where the company actually started, we haven't even been planning to use avatars, because that was something that was not entirely possible at the time. The concept came up about 2 years ago that this will be something that we can accommodate, that will simplify the workflow, that will make this far more engaging and interesting to students. And then probably about a year and a half it took us to really train the machine to make sure that our content generator is really able to provide the right content. Because the main challenge with avatars was not just to create avatars that will look technically correct, but avatars that will be able to tell engaging stories.
In voice, tone,
and tone of
editorial
voice.
tone.
And I can imagine that being incredibly challenging.
It has.
It has. But obviously, as that opportunity arises that we can use avatars, we pursue that idea because obviously there is enough research on the market that suggests when there is a good link between a teacher and the student, then with the same content you can achieve far better results. So that's why our students will have an opportunity to choose their favorite teacher.
So you're working with teachers. Are the teachers the avatars, or how are you working with teachers to create the technology platform?
Yes, we work with the teachers to create the curriculum, and the entire curriculum was crafted by our head of maths, James Rossiter. He's an amazing mathematician with very good credentials in transforming schools that are not performing really well into schools that are doing rather good. So we basically using his methodology to deliver something that we know works. So I think that's as well one of the differentiation between other platforms and us. We have a content that I believe is fully proven, and by the fact that we're using avatars, we can easily translate that content into different languages, or we can easily adjust the curriculum as well to cater not just for English GCSE, but we can cater as well for other European markets.
So at the moment, you said English GCSE, so is this application at the moment just in schools in England? Can it just be used for students?
So yes, so the current curriculum supports English GCSE as well as international GCSE curriculum. So international GCSE is currently being rolled out in over 150 countries across, obviously, Europe and the world. All the international British schools can use the platform. But our primary focus, obviously, at this stage is UK, because we want to prove the concept. We want to see how everything works and then roll out this to other territories. But because as well we use AI, we use avatars, it is very easy for us to adjust the curriculum to, for example, match requirements in Germany, Belgium, Spain. So pretty much the sky is the limit at this stage.
And what about competition at the moment with other AI teaching apps? Is there...
I think one of the factors that has been in the back of my mind as I'm more an investor and a financier is to make sure that this product is affordable, because AI can be enormously expensive and then the state schools or schools can't afford the product. So that's why we've kind of built our technology in 3 different domains in the world to keep the costs under control and to make sure that we can deliver a product and system to a UK state school that is affordable, but where the output is better than the competition.
And I'm very interested to know, because you're a UK European based startup, there have been so many UK and European companies leaving the continent in favour of US exchanges because of the deeper pool of capital. Many CEOs that I've spoken to have said this is the reason. What is the challenge, would you say, as a startup in Europe, with raising capital compared to the US market? Is the US market even something you're interested in?
Of course. And we intend to go into the US market probably 2025. It'll take about 6 to 9 months to prepare the curriculum based upon the platform we have, which is versatile and can actually accommodate other languages and other systems. I find the UK venture capital market very difficult. I don't personally think they're venture capitalists. I think they just bridge fund things. We're going into the American because the Americans are so much more positive about how they look at things. The English tend to look at how much are we going to lose, and the American thinks how much are we going to make. And their psychology is deeply ingrained in the UK.
That's very interesting you say that. So do you think that might be one of the reasons why so many other companies are turning to the US? Because
yes,
there's
of course.
Absolutely.
more opportunity than...
Yeah, I think it's deep into the psychology of the British and maybe the European is not to take a risk.
Interesting.
It's really hard to do anything pre-revenue at this stage, and that is...
But if you look at the major companies that have been successful, the investors have always come in pre-revenue. Take Uber or someone like that. It's always been pre-revenue.
And what other challenges have you had getting things up and running as a UK-European startup?
Finance. That comes right back to it. We have the skill sets, we have the people, we know the marketplace, and I think I see lots of institutions, and it's the same question every time. How many licenses have you sold? Now, I appreciate that people want proof of concept, but there's also a value proposition. That we have finished the technology at a price that everybody can afford, the teachers, the VCs, everybody. But there's still, you just have to push them a little bit. Sometimes you get success, and most of our funding has come from high net worth investors who have got, they're open-minded, they make decisions, and I think they're a great bunch of people, the UK private investment market.
That's very interesting. So the company has been, the money raised has been all private investment.
Absolutely.
And so for venture capital, for startups watching this and considering or trying to raise money themselves for their own company and turning to European VCs, venture capitalists, so you say that's a huge challenge at the moment then?
I think it's a huge challenge for all startups, unless you're kind of selling bread and butter to a bakery.
Yes. No, any big .com can really happen in Europe because of this hesitation from VCs that they just afraid to take a risk.
Very interesting insights there from both of you, and thank you for sharing the story of 21C, and we'll certainly be keeping up to date on your progress as you go through that the journey. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.